I didn't know how else to word the title, but this isn't a hateful post. I tried to keep it brief, but there's a lot of context, so buckle up. I, 28-year-old male, am gay. My husband, Mark, 30-year-old male, and I have a toddler. We started the process to adopt her while her birth mother was pregnant, so we were present for most of the pregnancy. Birth mother lives in a different city and isn't involved in our daughter's life, but we still consider her a friend. When she was pregnant, the three of us threw a very small COVID-conscious baby shower. This post concerns my sister Jane, 27-year-old female, who ended up being kicked out of the shower. These are fake names. The shower started out smoothly, everyone was excited to finally see each other again. However, Jane started doing something that slightly bothered me and Mark. She kept referring to our daughter as our gay baby. We already had a name picked out. Jane never used her name. Nobody else ever called her Gaby. It was weird, but we didn't say anything. The gift Jane got us was rainbow-themed. I didn't think much of it until she said it was because we were having a rainbow baby. For those who don't know, a rainbow baby is a baby someone has after suffering miscarriage in the past, like the rainbow coming after the rain. Except birth mother had never been pregnant before, and we had never tried for a baby before, so we were confused. She explained rainbow baby referred to our daughter being the baby of gay parents. I kind of laughed and said that's not what that means, and she probably shouldn't misuse the term like that. Jane said that's dumb, and a word can mean two things at once. Some gifts after that happened to have a rainbow on them, and she continued to point out the rainbows and say they were for the rainbow baby. But ultimately, what bothered us the most was she was ignoring birth mother completely. Literally, birth mother would say something to her, and she would act like she didn't hear it and talk to me or Mark instead. Mark ended up asking her to leave because it was making us uncomfortable. She tried to make a scene, but eventually left. I have been low contact with Jane ever since. We're not no contact, but neither of us have made a big effort to reach out. She's not happy with me, and I'm not happy with her. And neither of us are willing to apologize for what happened at the shower, so we just don't really talk unless it's about our family. I'm going to give some background about me and my sister. Jane is straight, but supportive of the queer plus community. I came out to her in high school, and she immediately started talking about how she was excited for us to talk about boys, do our makeup and nails together, watch drag queen shows, go to pride and queer plus bars, etc. I don't want to sound ungrateful. I know I'm lucky to have supportive family, but I was never into any of that stuff. I'm very much on the masculine side. I have zero interest in makeup or anything like that. And I'm a quiet guy who doesn't like crowds, parties, or talking about crushes and relationships. Speaking of which, she would also ask me invasive questions about my sexuality, like if I'm a top or a bottom. Whenever I didn't want to talk about stuff like that or do the activities she suggested, she would say I was a bad gay, whatever that means, or I have internalized homophobia. I want to be clear, she doesn't do that anymore. She respects my comfort zone, but she does still joke that I'm bad at being gay if, for example, I talk about my interests like video games and sports, or I don't know who a gay celebrity is. Jane is also the nerdy type. Her hobbies mostly involve books, TV shows and movies, anime, etc., and mostly about queer plus relationships. She is super into this stuff, has posters of her favorite queer plus couples, social media accounts dedicated to the couples, etc. So she will push recommendations on me saying I will like X show or book because there are queer plus people in it. That's great and all, but I'm a dad now, and queer plus people existing is not reason enough for me to spend my valuable free time on something. The bottom line is, I feel like she sees me as a gay guy first, and a person, and her brother second. She doesn't seem to understand that just because I'm gay, it doesn't mean I have to like all gay things, and there are other aspects to my personality. And with her pushing this gay bee and rainbow thing, I just knew that she would see my daughter as the child of gay parents first, and a person second. Okay, so now to the actual conflict I'm here to ask about LOL. My daughter's birthday is coming up soon, and Jane asked if she could come down to see her. The incident at the shower doesn't mean I don't want her to have a relationship with my daughter, so of course I said sure, and gave her the time and place of the birthday party. A couple days later, Jane showed me the presents she got for my daughter. There were 2 onesies. One said, "I heart my daddies," and the other one said, "2 dads are better than 1." Both had big queer plus pride flags on them. I said no, get her something else. That sounds weird, so I explained basically what I said above. I am more than just gay, and my daughter is more than a gay bi. I have nothing wrong with pride flags normally, but just this once treat us like a normal family and get her a toy or something that isn't about her parents being gay. She called me and blew up at me, saying I clearly hate myself for being gay, and I'm going to raise my daughter in an unsupportive environment if I treat being gay like a dirty little secret. That's absolutely not what I intend to do. We are planning to be open with her. We have a lot of other queer plus friends, and we have a pride flag hanging in our home clearly visible. I don't think I have internalized homophobia, but I haven't always been confident in my sexuality, so I don't know. The last thing I want to do is make my daughter think being gay is wrong, but I also don't want to reduce us to just a gay couple or my daughter to just the child of a gay couple. I ended up telling her she is welcome to come see our daughter, even without a present. But if she brings those presents, we will not be letting her inside. Mark is backing me 100%. But it turns out he's the only one, and our entire family are on Jane's side and think she's just being supportive, and I'm overreacting. So am I the idiot? Now for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. Sorry this is happening. It reminds me of when my brother got married several years ago. I mentioned it at work, and a couple of the other women started getting all excited that I would be going wedding dress shopping with the bride. When I said he was actually marrying a bloke, they started squealing, "Oh my God, a disco wedding. Gays are so fun. I love gays, don't you?" I said, well, I love these two. And friends. But I haven't met every gay. So, They quickly lost all interest when I told them we were hosting a tea party in our mom's garden for the reception. No disco laugh out loud. And yes, that is what my brother and his fiancée had specifically asked for. People are weird. Good luck with your sister and congrats on the baby. Comment 2. Your sister reminds me of the woman of the gay rat wedding dress. She may have the best intentions, but by the way you describe her actions, she comes across as someone more concerned about virtue signaling and being a loud ally than trying to connect with the people behind the label. That is you and your family, not the jerk. Now, for the update. Thanks for sticking around for the update. So Jane did come to the birthday party without the onesies, but she brought a new gift that set off another round of drama. It was a children's book about a little girl with 2 dads. Sounds innocent, right? But the book was all about the girl dealing with bullies and explaining her family to other kids. It felt like Jane was saying our daughter would have to defend her family one day, and that rubbed me the wrong way. I didn't make a scene at the party, but I pulled Jane aside afterward. I told her the book was inappropriate, that our daughter's story should be about love and family, not about defending her existence. Jane got defensive, saying she was just trying to prepare her niece for the real world. That's when I lost it. I told her she was projecting her own issues onto my daughter and that she needed to stop. The argument got heated, and Jane stormed out. I thought that was the end of it, but boy was I wrong. A few days later, I got a call from my parents. They were furious. Jane had told them I was denying my daughter's heritage by rejecting the book. She twisted the story, making it seem like I was ashamed of our family. My parents, who always want to keep the peace, said I should apologize to Jane for overreacting. I was fuming. I felt betrayed by my own sister and misunderstood by my parents, but I wasn't going to apologize for protecting my daughter from unnecessary negativity. Then, out of nowhere, the birth mother called. She'd heard about the drama from Jane, who apparently had been in touch with her all this time. The birth mother was on my side. She said she never felt disrespected by me or Mark, and that Jane was the one who had been ignoring her at the baby shower. She offered to talk to my parents and set the record straight. With the birth mother's support, I confronted Jane and my parents together. I explained how Jane's actions were not supportive, but rather intrusive and presumptive. I laid out everything, from the gay-bee comments to the latest book incident. Jane tried to defend herself, but the birth mother's testimony was undeniable. In the end, my parents saw my point of view. They realized that Jane's version of support was more about her own views than about what was best for our family. They apologized for not listening to me sooner. Jane was quiet for a while after that, but eventually she reached out. She admitted she had been wrong and that she'd let her enthusiasm cloud her judgment. She promised to respect our wishes as parents and to get to know our daughter for who she is, not just as the child of a gay couple. It was a tough couple of weeks, but in the end, things settled down. My family understood where I was coming from, and Jane started to change her approach. It wasn't perfect, but it was a start. Thanks for reading. My sister sabotages my engagement by lying to our mom, so I expose her deceit and watch her world crumble. Hi, today it was my mom's birthday, and I, 19-year-old female, went over for dinner. My entire family was there, and we all had a nice time, until it came time to open gifts. I had gotten my mom some candles because she loves to have some in the house. My gift was the first to be opened. After that, my mom opened a card. My older sister, 22-year-old female, said, "Everyone wrote you a letter about how much you mean to them." I watched as my mom read every letter out loud and cried as she read them. I should specify, my mom has 10 kids with me included, and 2 of us are foster kids. I'm not the foster kid, I'm the third oldest. Every one of my siblings wrote her a letter except me and my brother. These messages were really heartfelt, with 2 of them talking about how my mom was their real mom. Another talking about how my mom got them through the loss of their dad, things like that. After she finished, I pulled my sister aside and asked why she didn't text me. I didn't think I was being left out because me and my brother are both moved out. She said, "I asked our brother and he said he didn't want to, and I didn't feel like bothering you." I felt the urge to cry, realizing that I was the only one who didn't get to write my mom a letter, and I was really upset. She later texted me saying she was sorry she didn't include me, and I said that I was really upset. She basically told me that she felt like she did nothing wrong and that I was being dramatic. I told her I would never forgive her, and now 2 of my siblings say that I'm in the wrong. Am I the jerk? I should add some clarity that me and her have argued in the past because of things I said when I was 12, really long time ago, but she holds grudges. And our relationship has been rocky since then. But in all honesty, it felt okay recently. If I need to, I'll post the messages if you guys need that, but honestly, I just need to know if I'm overreacting. Edit. Thank you all. I appreciate this entire comment section, and if I could upload the damn texts, I freaking would. I realize that I am not the jerk, and I really appreciate it. Edit 2. The history. All right, maybe I'll plan these posts a little better. Here is the history of me and H, who will be the older sister for this. So that argument when I was 12, don't remember what it was about, where I told her that I hated her and that I was leaving. Tried to walk to my grandparents' house, but that didn't work out because she ripped me back inside. But there's always been discord between us. When I was 13, my dad died, and then some trauma memories came back about my dad, and I had to be hospitalized because of it. My sister said that I was lying about the whole thing, and we discovered that I'm bipolar and audio hallucinate. The bipolar diagnosis came later, but they told my mom that she shouldn't be surprised if that was what it turned into. Got re-diagnosed at 17. That's where the bipolar came from. When I got out of the hospital, my sister had taken the liberty to take my dog. She made me feel shame for what happened to me by telling me that it couldn't have been that bad, and just generally made me feel like an outcast. When I got older, her and one of her friends cornered me in a room and tried to make me tell them that I was lying about the whole thing. My mom came home in the middle of it and saw me crying and scolded her for a very long time. After she moved out, I started dating this guy who cheated on me multiple times. She told me I deserved it. When I met my now fiancé, we had been dating for 5 months when she told me that we had no point in dating, we would not get married, and we would break up one day. Typing all of this out has made me realize that maybe she's just shitty. But these are just things she has done. I don't think she was a horrible person, I just think she was 16 at one point, and that was really hard. And I think it was hard being a mom at 19. H started out dating an hurtful guy who beat her a lot, and then she ended things with him. Not calmly, my stepdad had to threaten him a lot. She later met a guy who only used her for intimacy. Now she's with a guy who cheats on her constantly and called her disabled child a slur. She's moving out of his place and finally ending things with him, but they're married now. I don't think she's a bad person. I just think she has a lot she hasn't dealt with. And maybe she's jealous of me and my partner. Who knows? What I know is those letters meant a lot to my mom. She keeps every one of them that she receives and makes sure that she has them all. I hated being left out. Now, for a few comments before the update. Comment 1, not the idiot. That was an incredibly selfish thing for her to do. Write a letter and give it to your mom. I'm sure she'd love it. And when you do, just say, "I'm sorry this wasn't included in your birthday gift. H didn't tell me ahead of time," and leave it at that. You want your mom to know, but you don't want to make such a big deal out of it that it ruins what would otherwise have been an incredibly sweet and thoughtful gift for your mom. Comment 2. Not the idiot. Your sister intentionally excluded you from something meant to mean a lot to your mom. There was malicious intent there for some reason. Was there a reason none of your siblings told you about it? Now, for the update. Thanks for sticking around for more of my family drama. So, after the whole birthday fiasco, things went from bad to worse. My sister, let's call her H, was moving out of her cheating husband's place. She asked for help, and despite everything, I agreed. I thought maybe this was a chance to mend fences. Big mistake. While moving her stuff, I found letters she'd written to our mom over the years, stashed away in a box. Curiosity got the better of me, and I read them. They were full of lies about me, painting me as the family troublemaker. I was livid. I confronted her, and she just shrugged it off, saying it was all in the past. But it wasn't just the past. It was a betrayal. Meanwhile, my brother, who's always been the problem solver, tried to smooth things over. He organized a family dinner, hoping to clear the air. It was a disaster. H and I got into a shouting match. Mom tried to intervene, and in the heat of the moment, I blurted out what I'd read in the letters. The room went silent. Mom was hurt, and I could see it in her eyes. I'd made a mistake airing dirty laundry like that, and it changed everything. The fallout was immediate. Mom started questioning everything, wondering if our family was just a facade. My siblings took sides, and the family split down the middle. I'd inadvertently caused a rift that seemed unbridgeable. In the midst of this, my fiancé and I hit a rough patch. He was stressed about our wedding plans, and the family drama was the last straw. We fought, and in a moment of anger, he called off the engagement. I was devastated. My relationship with my sister had not only cost me my family's unity, but also the love of my life. H, on the other hand, seemed to thrive on the chaos. She played the victim, telling anyone who would listen that I was the one tearing the family apart. It was like she was feeding off the drama, and I couldn't understand why. As for my mom, she became withdrawn. The vibrant woman who once held our large family together was now a shadow of her former self. She stopped hosting family gatherings, and the house that was once filled with laughter and noise became eerily quiet. I tried to apologize, to make amends, but the damage was done. My siblings saw me as the instigator, the one who couldn't let go of the past. I was isolated, and it was all because I couldn't control my temper at that dinner. The worst part? I found out that H had been manipulating situations for years, turning our siblings against each other to keep the spotlight off her own failures. It was a game to her, and I had played right into her hands. Now, I'm left picking up the pieces of my broken family and my shattered relationship. I've learned the hard way that some mistakes can't be undone and some wounds are too deep to heal. I'm trying to move forward, but it's hard when every step reminds me of what I've lost. Thanks for reading this mess of an update. My brother's girlfriend starts drama in our tight-knit group and has an affair with my dad, so I expose her cheating ways and watch her world crumble. My brother Adam split with his ex-wife Celine 3 years ago. No infidelity, just a tough period during which they realized they had become different people. They have 2 kids, 6 and 8, and co-parent well. Celine has been a good friend of mine since they got together, and she has a new boyfriend, whom I introduced her to. He works with my husband. Adam has been dating his girlfriend Carol for nearly 2 years. Celine, my mom, my dad's wife Anna, and I are what I would consider a strong friendship circle. It may be weird that we all hang out, but it works for us. We take our kids out together, go on girls' trips and group holidays. Surprisingly, our partners all get along well. Lately, Carol has been complaining to Adam, who has been complaining to me and my mom, that Carol has not been inducted into the friendship group. My mom and I haven't warmed to Carol, nothing in common, and she's just generally too much for us. But the real reason we don't try to invite her places is that she won't have anything to do with Celine. They've met very briefly at custody changes, but Carol refuses to go to social events if Celine is there. She and Adam missed Christmas with us last year because of this. That's her right. Not everyone is cool with hanging out with their boyfriend's ex, but that also means she's automatically excluded because she refuses to be around a member of an established group. This all came to a head when planning a summer trip. My mom is marrying her partner in a destination wedding in August, and we were planning a kind of bachelorette spa weekend before the event, kids included. Adam got wind of this and got mad at my mom for not inviting Carol. My mom said Carol was not invited because Celine was going, and that was non-negotiable. Adam complained, saying it's unfair to Carol to always have to compete with Celine. Carol is upset because not only does she miss out on socializing with everyone, but her child misses out on sibling time because Adam's kids go and hers doesn't. Adam said it's put a real strain on things that Carol feels she can't measure up to Celine. Eventually, I got sick of the back and forth and said we are not going to cut out Celine, who is our friend, and by extension, his own children, who should be his priority, from our circle because Carol is acting like a toddler on the playground, and that our social lives were our business. Adam is now not speaking to me. I don't think I'm in the wrong. Yes, Celine is the mother to my nibblings, but she is also my friend. I'm not going to agree to ditch her because my brother is now dating someone else, whom I don't even want to see socially in the first place. This is not to say that Carol is not invited to family events. She is more than welcome. But beyond that, I think she needs to drop it. Am I the idiot? Now for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. People really need to check out the dynamics of the familial relationships before they get invested in their own. If you think a family is going to throw away a long-term relationship with someone they love just because the newbie doesn't like it, you're fooling yourself. And why in the world would someone who enjoys a good co-parenting relationship with an ex, who is clearly embedded in his family dynamic, continue a relationship with someone who is so insecure that they insist the whole family change for them? Comment 2. Adam complained, saying it's unfair to Carol to always have to compete with Celine. The only competition is in Carol's head by her own choosing, which means only Carol can end the competition, but it would require her to pull her head out of her butt, which, unfortunately, she seems unable or unwilling to do. Not the idiot now, for the update. Thanks for sticking around for this update. So last week, things went from bad to worse. Remember how Carol was feeling left out? Well, she took matters into her own hands. She showed up unannounced at the spa weekend. And let me tell you, it was a disaster. She and Celine had a huge fight right in front of everyone, kids included. It was embarrassing. Carol accused Celine of trying to win Adam back, which is ridiculous because Celine's been with her new guy for ages now. After that, my mum, who's usually the problem solver, told Carol she had crossed a line and asked her to leave. Adam was furious when he found out. He said we were all ganging up on Carol and that it wasn't fair. He's been giving us all the cold shoulder since then, and it's put a strain on the whole family. But wait, it gets worse. 2 days after the spa incident, my dad's wife Anna found out she's been cheated on. Turns out my dad had a fling with Carol a few months back. It was a one-time thing, but still, it blew up everything. Anna left my dad, and now she's staying with us. My mom's been trying to support her, but it's awkward because, well, they used to be married to the same guy. Adam didn't know about the affair, and when he found out, he broke up with Carol on the spot. He's been trying to apologize to everyone, especially Celine, but she's having none of it. She's more concerned about how all this drama is affecting the kids, and honestly, I don't blame her. Now, with the wedding coming up, everyone's walking on eggshells. Adam's trying to make amends, but it's not easy. I've been caught in the middle of all this, trying to keep the peace, but I'm not sure how much more I can take. Thanks for reading this mess of an update. If you liked this video, you'll probably like these too. Also, while you're here, please consider subscribing. It's your support that keeps this channel alive and allows me to make better and longer videos. Have a great day!